It's better to hustle and invest in yourself or whatever it is you're trying to do than be an employee. I've done both, so I can tell you. I had multiple jobs. My first job was a ramp agent for Piedmont Airlines, U.S. Airways Express at the time before U.S. Airways bought American Airlines. That was in 2012 when I was 19, like a year after high school. My second job was working for FedEx Express in Philadelphia International Airport as a ramp agent. Third job, worked at the post office for like 3.5 years in Philly. My second job was FedEx Ground. I worked there when I was in. Well, let me go back. I'm wrong. The next job after the post office was a moving company in Boynton Beach, Florida, called All My Sons, and that wasn't even like a job. That was like they would call me whenever they feel like, and I would do some work. I would do some moves. Probably, I might have did some moves with them like 5 times out of the whole time I was employed with them. The next job was Yulin. It's a contracting company in Fort Lauderdale International Airport. I was there for like probably a month and a half, and then I had to leave that. And then I moved to Alabama, and I started working with FedEx Ground, the contracting delivery company for FedEx Ground. I did that in 2018 from August in Alabama up until February in Alabama. Then I moved back up to Philly. That's another thing I want to get into. That's one of the most devastating moments in my life. Then I continued working for a contracting company in Philly for FedEx Ground from February 2019 up until April of 2019. Then I worked for Amazon as a seasonal delivery driver. I was working directly with Amazon. This is when it was hiring directly. There wasn't no DSPs at the time. Like they were still helping people start their DSP companies, but they was hiring directly off the street. So I was working for Amazon directly in Belmont, New Jersey from April 2019 till July of 2019. I got terminated from them because of points. My next job, SEPTA. Well, that was a job I always wanted to have. But yeah, that was the next job. SEPTA Regional Rail. I was an assistant conductor from December 2019 up until last year, May. They discharged me from the company last year because I stopped showing up and I had too many points. And then the next job I had was working for an Amazon DSP company in Wilmington, Delaware. I did that from September of last year until December of last year. And then my next job was Avelo Airlines. I started working there. I'm still there, but I'm there part-time, pretty much. I started working there at April of this year up until now. That's where I'm still at. I'm like part-time. I don't even work there all the time. Yeah, jobs, the same thing. Job with Avelo. I don't go through too much there compared to all the jobs I had in the past. But a job is a job. You still got the issues that come with working a job. Now, my experience, like doing gig apps and hustling on the side. When I say hustling, I'm talking about selling stuff like clothes, shoes, products online. That's what I mean when I say hustling. I'm talking about making your own money, working for yourself. My first experience doing that was 2022. My bad. Let me go back. That's my first experience as an entrepreneur. My first experience working a gig app was 2018 when I was in Florida, when I was living in Broward County, Florida. I was doing Lyft and Uber Eats. Now, the reward I used to feel like the feeling I used to get when I made like a decent amount of money doing that a day versus getting a paycheck was totally different. I felt like I was on top of the world. Like I felt like yes, I put myself out there and I use my own mind, strength, whatever I had at the time to make me some money. It's like there's a great saying: use what you got to get what you want. Do what you can with what you have where you are right now. I love that saying. That's one of my favorite quotes. I forgot who said it, but yeah, that's one of my favorite quotes. And it's like when I made money doing that, like working a gig app, like I'm controlling my time. I can do it whenever I want. I don't have to work with other people. I'm interacting with people as a Lyft and Uber driver or delivering food as an Uber Eats delivery driver. But it's not the same as having to clock in, working with messy coworkers, toxic managers or supervisors that that has that favoritism mindset. They pick and choose who they want to chastise when they do wrong, or who they want to give more hours to, and all kind of foolishness, no matter how good of a worker you are, type thing. Yeah, when you hustling or you grinding or you doing gig apps or whatever side hustle you got, if you're doing it right now, keep doing it. If you're an employee and you like working at your job and you're not going through anything, God bless you. Keep doing that too. But for myself and people who think like me, if you really want to be happy and you really want to be stress free and you really want to feel control of your own life and not be stressed out and bugged out about a job, continue doing gig apps, continue selling whatever online. If you have a business you want to start or you can start, just do it. Just do that, stick with it till the end. The feeling is, it's like endorphins when you reap the benefits of doing that. It's like when you get paid from doing those things, like selling stuff online, working a gig app and making a decent amount of money a day, you feel more proud of yourself. You feel more confident in yourself. Like, yeah, I put myself out there, I use what I have, and I made something out of it. So yeah, my first time working as a gig My first time working a gig app was Lyft, Uber in Florida, and Uber Eats. I did that in 2018 up until I went to Alabama. I couldn't do that in Alabama because when I was working with FedEx Ground, I didn't really have time to do anything else. My second time when I went back to Philly, after I got fired from Amazon in Jersey, this was in 2019, I started doing Lyft and Uber again. And that was paying off good too, because there were days when I was making like $100, $150, $125 a day. And that was decent money at the time for me. I mean, I had to pay for the vehicle that I was using, but I was still making enough money to like eat at the time. And then the next thing I did was Amazon Flex. That was in 2021. I did Amazon Flex from 2021 up until 2023 while I was working at SEPTA. I stopped doing Amazon Flex when I got back into my trucking business. But that's another thing I'm gonna get into. Amazon Flex was pretty good for me because they had these routes called blocks. So a block was like 5 hours to 4 hours. At the time when I started, they had blocks that would pay you like 125. The average was like 120, 130, 110, 115. That was the average. During the surges like when the routes are coming in heavy. This was like 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning, 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. Those are the surges for Amazon Flex. So one block would pay you like 150, 140, 160, 170, 180 sometimes. If you like keep tapping the app or whatever, keep reloading and seeing what blocks come in. Like you'll see some large number apps. So you do 2 of those apps in one day, you're making like probably $350, almost $400, if that, in some cases, in one day. And what was messed up about that, I had to do that because when I was working at SEPTA, at the time I was only getting 40 hours a week. And part of that was due to COVID. When COVID-19 hit, everybody in SEPTA regional rail hours got cut down to like 40 hours, 42 hours or whatever. Excuse me. The only way you were making a lot of money if you had seniority and you was there for years and your pay rate done went up. But for somebody like me who just came in 2019, and my OJT started in January of 2020, and I started making some decent money, like 1200, 1300 after taxes every week. And as soon as COVID-19 hit, then my hours get cut. I'm like, man, what's going on? I didn't know what else to do at the time. Um, when I finally got on Amazon Flex the next year, that's when, you know, I started making my own side money. And with SEPTA, there was that whole from COVID-19 in March of 2020 up until like September of 2021, I was getting paid 40 hours a week. I was working 40 hours a week. I was making like $500 to $600 a week after taxes. And then in 2022, my mom had to connect with this company that gives you like name brand sneakers, clothes, whatever you name it, and she would get them in bulk. So she had these Nike slippers, and I decided, hey, what if I could sell these? So with Amazon, they used to take too much fees, and you have to get ungated or something like that, or you have to wait for them to approve the name brand items, because a lot of these name brand items on Amazon, they're already selling those stuff on it. They already have their own Amazon store, and you don't want to come in selling their products for cheaper. You kind of like messing up the business. So I went to the eBay route. The eBay route is easier for me to sell on, because you can control everything. Amazon, they do everything for you, like Amazon FBA, but with eBay, you got to do most of the work. But you can still sell whatever you want, however you want. You just got to make sure that people willing to buy it at whatever price you put it for. So I had these Nike slippers, and I lie to you not, a day after I posted my first slipper, I got a sale. And then I started posting more slippers, and they all sold out. Then my mom told me that they had some Nike Pro women gym shorts. I got those, and some Nike sneakers, and I got those too. And I started selling them one by one. I started selling everything. And mind you, during this time, I was doing that and Amazon Flex. I was still working at SEPTA, but I wasn't at work. I was on leave at the time, because I felt like when I was at SEPTA, I was just wasting my time. Like it started to get stressful. And anybody that knows me personally, they know that I love trains. That's part of the reason why I took the job at SEPTA, because I feel like I'm in an environment now where I can do what I love. I can be around trains. I can learn about trains, how they operate, the system and everything. But at the same time, working a job, it comes with the job politics. And I didn't want to be around that. That's another thing I'm going to go into also. But I didn't want to deal with none of that. I'm the type of person where I'm too good of an employee. I'm too good of an employee, meaning like whatever you expect me to do, as it pertains to the job rules or whatever, I'm the type of person that's gonna do that shit, and I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna do it right. Like, I'm gonna do my job. That's it. I'm gonna do my job, and I'm gonna do it right. That's it. Every job I worked at, they always told me, "Oh, I'm fast," or "I'm a this, I'm a that." But when it comes to the social aspect of it, no. I guess I was lacking something there. I didn't have the most social skills. So that's what I love about gig apps. I'm by myself. I'm working by myself. I mean, you're gonna interact with people, but you probably interact with them for like 2 minutes or a couple seconds or whatever. Or if you're going to a delivery station, you have to pick up some items, and you gotta interact with the person that's giving you your stuff to deliver or whatever. And that's not even long. But when you're doing the work, you're by yourself. You can think. I can listen to like audio books if I want to. I can listen to music. Ain't nobody bothering me unless I gotta reach out to my wife and see how the kids are doing, anything like that. And that's not really her bothering me, but I'm not working with any coworkers. There's no noise that's affecting me other than bad traffic, and that's about it. So gig apps is the best thing if you want to hustle and grind on your own time. Do gig apps. If you want to sell stuff, if you want to start any business, anything you want to get into that's going to make you some hard-earned money, do it. The reward, it's an amazing feeling. I encourage anybody to take it on. Yeah, so I was selling on eBay up until October of 2022. And then I found out about box trucking. Man, that was one of the best moments in my life. That was one of the best moments in my life. Because when I found out how much money you can make doing box trucking, or having a box truck business, or just a logistic business in general, having your DOT, being an owner operator, when I found out how much money I can make, I went crazy. That was the happiest moment in my life, because yes, now I have something to strive for. Now I have something I can work towards. I started doing a whole bunch of research. I started saving a lot of money. I started doing more blocks with Amazon Flex so I could save more money so I can get into this business. And by December of 2022, I finally had my DOT active, had my commercial insurance and everything, and I was up and running. My first load in my box trucking business, I made $800 in one night. $800. Now, when you look at that compared to making $800, $900, or even $1,000 a week after taxes, who's gonna give up that to go back? Who's gonna give up that business, that kind of business, to go back to working that? Nobody. But life does come with surprises. By the beginning of 2023, towards the end of January 2023, my DOT went inactive. The truck that I was using at the time, I was renting it. It was from Penske. I couldn't afford it, and I had a lot going on at the time. The apartment that I was living at had a lot of mold. I had my daughter. She was about to be born. She was born almost a month early. Like, she was born at 36 months. No, my bad, 36 weeks. I'm tripping. 36 weeks. She was born kind of prematurely, but it was amazing. She was like the miracle baby, because when she was born, she didn't even seem like a premature baby. She was almost like a normal baby. Like, she wasn't hooked up on the incubators or anything like that. Yeah. She was the best thing that happened to me in 2023, so to say. I stopped doing the box trucking business for some time. I went back to doing Amazon Flex again. That was bringing in some okay money for the time being. And by April of 2023, I had got a loan from my mom's husband, my stepfather. And I broke down my business plan, everything. I laid it out to him, how I'm going to do it, what I'm going to do, how much I'm going to need. And he said, okay, it makes sense. He told me how much he think he can give me, and it was a reasonable amount. He gave it to me, and I was up and running again. Up until June of last year, 2023. I had to stop again because I was renting a truck. I didn't have my own truck. I didn't have my credit. It wasn't the best. It's not the best, to be honest, right now. That's something I'm still working on. So I didn't have good enough credit or business credit, because my business was fairly new at the time, to finance a truck or anything like that. So I had to stop again. That was one of the most devastating moments in my life. I'm still kind of affected by it, because I invested so much mentally and physically, financially into that dream and business. Excuse me. I'm still a little crushed by it, because I felt like that could have got me and my family somewhere. But, in life, you have to keep moving. I don't regret starting that business, not one bit. I just regret the fact that it didn't go the way that I wanted it to. Now, would I change anything? I'll say I'll do more research, save more money, fix my credit more before I get into anything like that again. That's what I would do going forward. But I don't regret starting that business. I don't regret why I started it. I think it was one of the best decisions I made in my life. It's just that in life, things happen that we don't see sometimes, that we're not prepared for. But my overall point, I'm using my computer light. The overall point of this video that I'm trying to make is, it's better to work for yourself, make your own money, instead of being an employee, being stressed out and mad at the world that it's Monday. Like, every Monday when I go out on the road and I got to take my daughters to the school bus, or take my 1-year-old to the daycare, and I'm driving out there and you got people speeding, cutting lights, doing all kind of crazy shit because they mad that it's Monday and they got to go to work. Everybody's rushing to work. They don't care who they cut in front of. It's like, you can feel the vibe and the energy of people. And sometimes I'm laughing at them, because damn, y'all can actually do something about that. Look at y'all nice cars and all of that, but yet y'all so unhappy. Driving Benzes, Lexus, Teslas, all kind of nice cars, looking fresh, but yet you're still mad. You're still angry. Just to get to work. You do the same thing every Monday. When you work for yourself, or if you work for a gig app, it ain't like that. You control your time. There's no such thing as a weekend. Every day is the same day. Every day is a day to get money. You're not just working Monday to Friday, and then when Saturday and Sunday come, that's your rest day. When Sunday come, oh, you're upset and you're depressed that you got to go to work tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, when Monday comes, you're mad at the world. You rushing to work. You cutting in front of everybody. It's F everybody. I'm trying to hurry up and get to work. Then you come home. You rushing to come home during rush hour. That's why it's called rush hour in the morning, rush hour in the afternoon, because everybody got to rush to get to work or rush to get home. And there's really no reason to rush to get home, because you're not really missing anything unless you have to pick up your kids from daycare or school or whatever. That's understandable. But the energy and the mindset of the average people you see today is like, it's crazy. Like, God damn, y'all can do something about this. We can, and I understand with these companies, somebody got to work the companies, but the majority of people who work in these companies, take this from somebody who worked in corporate America, in the job force. The majority of people don't like where they work. They don't like where they hate where they work. And some of the jobs they work pay good too, but they don't like where they work. And the money is not the issue. That's why when they do say money isn't everything, I agree, money isn't everything. Because sometimes it's how you get that money too that matters. Like when I used to work at SEPTA, that was one of the highest paying jobs I ever had in my life. I worked with people who was making way more than me. And these like, they were still frustrated. They were always had this negative energy about them. Always complaining about the job. Yet you there for 10 years and you complaining about the same shit. You complaining that you got to take this train to Thorndale. You complaining that you got to take this train to the airport, which is probably like 30 minutes from Center City, Philadelphia. You mad that you have to conduct the train. Not the engineer who have to actually shift throttles and shit, make sure he don't run no signals, but you over here mad that you got to conduct. Just pressing 2 on the buzzer, telling the engineer to go. Hey, next stop is 30th Street. Oh, you mad you got to take a train to Trenton. But yet you're getting paid $34 an hour. $30 an hour. And you're mad and frustrated. You got this negative energy about you. And you're getting paid all this money. Then do something about it. But don't take all your frustrations out on people or on the world because you ain't make the steps to change your life, to do something. I can look at myself and say, hey, I actually did something. So when I think about my box trucking business and I get upset, it's like, damn, I actually did the work. I did everything I was supposed to do. And I did it right. I followed all the blueprints. I followed all the steps. And things still went left. I mean, I'm really and truly, I'm not supposed to be mad and beating myself up about that and have a negative mindset about it. But when when I start comparing myself to people who don't do shit about their life, that's when I start to get mad. Like, I actually went out and did the work and invest in myself. Compared to this person who just want to sit up here and be mad and frustrated because of a job that they don't want to be at, but it pays good. So you stick it out. Or it was the same thing when I was working at the post office. That was even worse than SEPTA. I can't even bang on SEPTA like that, because there were some situations that happened at SEPTA that I couldn't sympathize with. But when it comes to the post office, oh man, toxic 2.0. Toxic 2.0. SEPTA was heaven compared to the post office. Trust me. And I worked at both jobs for 3.5 years, but SEPTA was heaven compared to the post office. When I used to work at SEPTA and I used to see those postal workers get on my train or at one of the stops that I was stopping at, I used to feel bad for them. Oh man, I feel for you, man. I've been there. Because I understand the frustration. I know what they got to deal with when it comes to supervisors, co-workers, or sometimes customers that they got to deliver to. All kinds of stuff that go into that. But as people, we can do things about that. You don't have to work a gig app if you don't want to. You don't have to do. There's a lot of things you can get into. You can use whatever skills and talents you got and invest in it. Post about it. Simple. But if you have the opportunity to leave your job, do it. Don't let it kill you. There's still time to make things right in your life. I feel like as I get older, as days go by, I feel like every day we wake up, there's a new opportunity to do something different and change the course of what we're going through in life. Now, if I'm not sympathetic with people, is because I know as human beings, we can change the course of our life or the direction that our life is going in. I don't sympathize with people when I know that they can do it, but they choose not to. And then they want to take that out on other people. They want to project that onto people. Projecting. They want to project their problems and insecurities or how they feel about themselves onto other people. Instead of looking at themselves and say, hey, I'm the reason why my life is like this. I'm the reason why these things keep happening. The same way how we can sit there and manifest that people don't like us, or this person is going to do that to us, or this person, whatever. We can manifest the opposite, but we choose not to. It's a choice that we make. It's a choice that we make. It's all about choices at the end of the day. You can choose to be in your situation, in your work situation, or you can choose to find a better way. That's it.